Does Ragnar think a berserker murdered Ascor?
Ascor was killed with a sword, and there aren't too many people who use swords outside of Idan. But if Ragnar's right, then it must be someone who was outside the walls at the time of the crime. So, Ragnar drew up a list of 5 suspects. No idea why these 5 exactly, but Ragnar will have his reasons.
Who are the suspects?
A group of people who were out there in the forest at the time of the murder. First on the list is Baron. He's a guard. Well, he's supposed to be a guard. As far as I know, he doesn't have an alibi. But I think the only real reason he's on the list is because he knew Ascor when he was younger. Then there's Thorgal. He's in charge of a world heart in Abessa. I have no idea why Ragnar would put him on the list. Maybe just to be complete. Third is Garen, a hunter. He was reliable, but he seems to have lost heart in himself. There's something troubling him. Last are Eardor and Rock. Rock I can't get a handle on. There's something he's not happy about. Eardor is still wet behind the ears. Bit of a whiner, but seems to care about his job. They were all outside Goliath at the time of the murder.
Will the suspects talk to me?
Tell them you're investigating on Ragnar's orders. They'll answer your questions. Let me know if you need help. Remember, my sword belongs to you.
What do you want me to ask them?
Where they were 3 months ago around Mana's Eve when the crime was committed. What they thought of Ascor. I doubt you'll get a confession. I doubt any of them did it, but you'll get a sense of the men, and then you can report back to me so we can close the case.
Where can I find them?
They're all still out there. Track them down, then report back to me when you've discovered something.
You, what are you doing? You're scaring away everything within a day's walk. You crash around like that, you'll scare off anything you can eat and attract everything that wants to make a meal of you.
I don't know these forests.
That's as plain as a horny troll in your sleeping sack. You'd better learn quick if you want to stay alive. You're scaring away the prey that is my livelihood. It's hard enough bringing in the food I have to, without some big-footed oaf crashing through the forest. Still, seeing as you aren't a natural hunter, maybe you'd like to buy some goods from me.
You're a hunter?
Yeah, I found my place. This is where I belong, with nature and for nature. I want nothing to do with Goliath.
Why not?
Too much talking, too much bullshit. Out here, peace. But you look like a talker. Is that why you're here? To talk?
A berserker was killed. The body was found in the forest.
The forest is a dangerous place.
The berserker who was murdered was called Asgore. Did you know him?
Asgore? That asshole. Yeah, I knew him. I kept out of his way. He kissed Ragnar's ass and treated everyone else like rot boar shit.
Sociable guy, aren't you?
Sociable just means happy to talk shit. I don't talk shit.
When were you last in the forest by Goliath?
I don't know. Not for a year. This is the best area for hunting, and all Goliath cares about is me filling my quota. As long as I send them meat and fur, I can stay out here away from small talk and politics.
Do you always hunt with a bow?
A bow? Traps? You should always try and kill at a distance. Learn that, and you will live longer. I'm here to feed berserkers, not the creatures.
You didn't like Asgore.
I didn't put myself in a position where I needed to. Little shit won't be missed.
Sounds like you had a grudge.
I think most people are assholes. You only asked me about Asgore. What's with all these questions? Is some asshole trying to pin this on me?
I'm questioning anyone I meet out here.
If you want an alibi for me, you'll have to go out there and speak to the raptors.
Is that your only alibi?
I'm a hunter. You want to know where I am? I'm always here in the forest.
What are you hunting?
Whatever I find. You can't be too picky if you want to hit Goliath's quota and feed yourself. You won't catch anyone in Goliath roasting a rot boar. They're missing good meat.
Teach me something.
Sure.
Who are you?
I am Leonard. Berserker, prospective hunter, and apprentice. At least I will be if Master Garen will teach me.
You're learning to be a hunter?
I'm an apprentice. Do you have any hunting experience?
I'm learning how to survive out here.
Master Garen says that life begins when the bow comes alive in your hand. And you'll become dead if you can't learn to make your bow come alive. That's the most he says, but normally with some swearing. Maybe you can learn something from him.
Ooh, who are you? What are you doing here? No one's allowed round the world, Hart.
You seem nervous.
Yeah. Normally the only people to come out here are albs, or outlaws. Which are you?
Are you responsible for the world heart here?
That's what you care about? The world, Hart? What about the men sent with it? If we wither, it does too. Goliath should care as much about us as they care about that plant. But yes, what are we next to a world heart? Ants in history. Here we are standing by the future of Magellan, the very thing given to us in Magellan's hour of need. Maybe that's what Bourne meant. He told me being a cultivator was about learning who you are. Out here, isolated with this thing to care about, I've certainly gained perspective.
Tell me, what do you know about Ascor's murder?
Nothing really. I don't hear much from Goliath out here.
How well do you know Ascor?
Not at all. I mean, I knew of him. People talked about him. But I don't think I ever said more than hello to him, and he ignored me. He didn't really have time for cultivators. But, you know, people can be like that. Some value our work, others think they're superior somehow.
Do you know where they found Ascor's body?
I'm guessing somewhere in the forest, or why ask me, right?
Did you hear anything else about Ascor?
Well, I'm wondering why you're not asking me about the seedling that disappeared the same night Asker was murdered. No one seems to be asking about it, and from what I heard, it wasn't just a seedling, it was one close to maturity. I heard it was being sent to a cultivator in the hope it could go on to Tavar or somewhere as a new world heart. But it never arrived.
Do you carry a sword?
Of course. It's dangerous out here.
So, you were here when he was killed?
Probably. I haven't been anywhere else in months. I only go back for supplies or to transport seedlings. When was Ascor killed?
3 months ago, around Mana's Eve.
Then I was back in Goliath sometime around then. I've lost track, to be honest, but whenever it was, I didn't see anything.
You work here on your own?
Most of the time. That's part of the punishment. It didn't used to be as lonely. They'd send patrols out to check on us. But since the Albs started attacking, we've been left on our own out here. Yeah, I guess we're not a priority.
I don't think you killed Ascor.
Me? Of course I didn't.
You really don't think you have a motive?
You mean the seedling he had? I'm a cultivator. I look after a world heart. I want to know what happened to the seedling he had. Why aren't you investigating where it went?
You're out here with a sword, and no witnesses.
If I tried to attack a warrior with a sword, chances are you'd be planting me in the ground.
What is a cultivator?
Well, we're farmers, in the main. We grow the crops for Goliath, and we tend to the seedlings and the world hearts. The warriors act like they're the big guys, but really, they're here to protect us. Warriors might get the glory, but it's us cultivators who are changing the world.
Changing the world. You just put plants in dirt.
Yeah, say that next time you eat stew or need a healing plant. Anyone can stick a sword in someone, but farming, growing, cultivating, bringing life, that takes skill. I got sent here as punishment 5 years ago.
Punished? And you say you enjoy doing this?
Yeah, masochist, aren't I? Beer, women, and fights were all that used to matter. Now, I get a kick from seeing just a few seedlings a season make it all the way to mature. I can take pride from that.
How safe is the world's heart here?
You mean with the Albs scouting out Goliath? They don't seem to register it. The World Heart mustn't be their mission, or they don't know about it. He'd kill me fast enough, though. That is, if the animals didn't get me first. Or I don't eat the wrong thing and get poisoned. Still, all in a day's work.
So, you're happy out here?
Happy? I don't know. I'm not dead. But if you're offering to help, there is one thing. I've not had any supplies from Goliath. Can you get them to send someone with my food supplies?
I will ask about your food supplies.
Thank you. Cinda is probably the best person to ask. She's fierce. I mean, ball-shriveling fierce. But gets things done. I'm not asking for anything special. Just the usual supply run. Or just, well, anything, to be honest. We're hungry out here.
Won't they send you supplies?
At some point, when they remember. Trust me, you going and asking will be faster than us waiting for them to remember. Our stomachs have better memories than they have. Listen, Goliath aside, there's a plant, the cultivator's loaf. If we could collect some of that, it would help us. It grows everywhere, but we've just not had time to collect them. 4 dozen should be enough.
4 dozen?
Yes, hopefully that would last us until we get another supply run. Say, let's round it up. Can you bring me 50? It would save you a trip to Goliath.
Hey, you.
What do you want?
I'm looking for a guy who was supposedly seen in the area recently. His name is Ray. Whiny little shitbag. Reckons he's an outlaw. Do you know him?
Ray? No, I've not met him.
Lucky you. Let me know if you meet the little piss streak. I want words with him. Not like that, friend.
So, what have we here? An exile or sightseer? Are you on your way down to join the damned, or have you just come to see where all the bad people go? Come on, speak up. You won't get to use the elevator until you've told me your business.
Have you ever been in the Valley of the Damned yourself?
Damned, yeah? Sort of the important part of Valley of the Damned. That place is for the exiled. I don't ever want to see that place.
Does anyone ever escape?
Not this way, they don't. I do guarding and repairing, remember? Besides, most of them down there are too busy dodging the creatures to plan an escape.
How many exiled live in the valley?
I don't know. There used to be guards that went down there to check on them, but they don't do that anymore. Not since the recent Alba attacks. Now, nobody is keeping record of how many have died or how many are still working where they were told to, so who knows? But it's their fault. They shouldn't have broken the law.
What elevator?
What elevator? The enormous wheel over there. The winch down to the world of exile.
What do you do here, apart from shout at passersby?
You watch your mouth. I'm the sole sentinel here. I do the guarding and the repairing. More the guarding than repairing right now. The elevator is bust and no one showed me how to fix it. So unless you know anything about winches, you can't get down there. Do you know anything about winches?
No.
Well, that saved you from yourself. No sane person enters the valley willingly. It's just traitors and failures down there.
I thought you said it was your job to repair the lift.
Yeah, and fixing this elevator is really complicated seeing as one of the gears is missing. So unless you've got a portable smelter and forge to make a new one, you're not gonna be repairing it right now, are you?
That depends.
Yeah?
Have you got a spare part?
Spare part? Spare part? Now, why didn't I think of that? Wait, yeah. I got loads of parts for you, right here, in my pants.
It's your job. Why don't you go and fetch a spare part?
Because my job has two parts, right? Guarding and repairing. Right now, there's only one part of my job that I'm not doing. If I go off looking for things, then I won't be doing either part of my job. And I don't want to get exiled for dereliction of duty.
How long has the gear been missing?
Since the other night. But why do you care? It's gone, and that's it.
It was stolen?
Exactly.
I've heard enough. Nothing to do?
What? Who are you? What do you want? Who goes there?
I need to ask you about Ascor's murder.
I can't tell you anything about that. Not anything that's not being said already. He should have kept his head down like me. Ambition only gets you dead. He should have picked this spot and stayed there. Why are you interested in that? Really?
Tell me what you do know about the murder.
Me? I only know what people are saying. That they thought Ascor had run away, but he hadn't. He'd been murdered somewhere out in the forest. I was out here at the time, on guard duty.
Did anyone see you? Is there anyone who can give you an alibi?
Hilda. She was with me all night. Her and Alba, and Dagny, and Erica, Freya, Garrett, Heggie, Magda. They're the trees over there. They're my girls. Very lonely out here. So no, I have no alibi.
Did you know Ascor well?
Since we were old enough to crawl, our parents were friends. We grew up like brothers.
Have you been trained to use that sword?
All berserkers are. You think I could survive out here if I couldn't use it?
Ascor's body was found near here. Did you see it?
No. I know where he was found. But no, I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't see him. I wouldn't want to remember him like that. My duties keep me here most of the time. So I stay looking after my girls, the trees, making sure they stay safe.
Where do you go when you do get away?
Nearby. Not Goliad, if that's what you mean. I tend to stay out here these days.
Where nearby?
The lift into the Valley of the Damned. That's a good place to relax. There's quite the view of the valley there. It's a good place to let your worries just drift away.
You look quite strong for somebody who's just standing around all day.
Maybe. And I hope you find who did it.
Maybe you did it. You knew him. You don't have an alibi.
Well, why would I kill him? He was my friend.
Why should I believe you?
Because it sounds like you're doing something about this, like you want to find out who did it. You should start with people who had a problem with him, not his friends.
Your friend Ascor, what kind of man was he?
Well, he wasn't a simple guy. He was my friend. Our parents were friends. We basically grew up as brothers. But he was sort of ambitious, and that sometimes, well, made him an ass. Listen, it doesn't matter. Just forget what I said.
Ambition could give a motive, if he got in someone's way.
Well, don't look at me. I'm happy where I am. I don't give a troll's ass about promotion.
Are you a guard?
Oh, stop asking questions and answer them. Who are you?
You're lucky I'm not an enemy.
Well, you know, it's not like the Albs are going to attack these trees, is it? If there's one thing the Albs know we got a lot of, it's trees. And it's not like these trees do much. I mean, they're not going to run away while I'm asleep, are they? Did Master Thorold send you? Is there something important? Because if not, just go, okay?
What makes you think Thorold the Pilgrim sent me?
When he was still the big boss up there in Goliath, he used to reprimand me quite often. I wondered if he was still keeping an eye on me. Still, whatever. I've heard he's retreated into study. Let him play with his magic. I hope it does save us. And while he's away, I have my peace and quiet out here.
What do you know about Thorold's retreat?
Not much. It said that he is working on a plan to stop the Albs. It's something huge that would change the war in all of Magellan. You think it? It happens. The Albs are screwed. Just like that. No idea what it is, though. But nobody is really allowed to talk about it. Well, then nobody even really understands what he's doing anyway.
Where is Pilgrim Thorold?
Well, that is confidential. Meaning, if anyone actually knows, no one is actually saying. Maybe he will figure out how to rob the Albs of their magical strength, at least. Then good, honest warriors could go back to sleeping in nice, comfortable beds.
Now there's a future that Magellan should be fighting for. Eardor needs supplies.
Eardor? The cultivator? Yes, I suppose he's not had any supplies for a while. But he will have to wait. He can forage in the forest. The people here can't.
I promised I'd get him supplies.
I'm not responsible for your promises. I have a whole town to feed.
If you don't help him, he will die.
Then he's not much of a cultivator, is he? Everybody's up against it. Everybody needs supplies. Everything I've got here has already been assigned. Except for a load of bread I had to throw out because no one picked it up from the baker until it was too late. I mean, what use is moldy bread? For the want of a few men, we waste resources that we're already short of.
Is moldy bread all there is?
For now. I'll get someone out there with better supplies when I can. But honestly, I can set up 4 other supply runs to other people in the time I can get someone to him. Until all this is sorted out, I've got to put my supplies where they'll do the most good.
about Ascor's murder. I don't think Baron did it. Ascor was his friend, and Baron just wants to be left alone. I don't see why he'd murder anyone.
All right. Even though he knew Ascor better than most, yeah, you're right. He doesn't have the energy or the motive. Frankly, I only think Ragnar wanted Baron questioned in case he had seen anything. It looks like he didn't. Let's take him off the list for now.
Garen just wants to hunt. He didn't like Ascor, but I don't think he killed him. Besides, if he had killed Ascor, he'd have used his bow, not a sword.
Yeah, all Garen wants is to hunt. He'd have no motive for this.
It's not conclusive, but I don't think it was him.
I agree. I don't think it was him either. Let's take him off the list.
Eardor didn't have time to commit a murder. He's tending to the world hard and looking after supplies. Besides, he's just too weak to have killed Ascor in the way you described.
Yes, I agree. I don't think Eardor was capable of this. That's one less suspect for us. You're making good progress. I'll keep Ragnar informed.
I could use your help.
There you have it.
You think you can keep up with me? I mean, I use a jetpack sometimes.
I know. I have one that I haven't taken to the pit yet.
Can you use it, though? You are a berserker.
Yeah, sometimes rules can be bent. I'll deal with any trouble.
Then let's go. There's an abandoned camp in some ruins to the west of Goliath. You can meet me there.
You lead, I'll follow. Don't forget, Ragnar still wants an answer to Ascor's murder. We should tell him something.
Do you think we make a good team, Duras?
Two experienced warriors like us? I feel like there is nothing we cannot do. The berserkers have held the Alps back with bravery and magic. This fight will call upon those qualities.